Hello, it is Lynx here, and today I will be reading a one-shot with almost 3,000 words entitled Purple Cat, Tired Panther, and Green Ocelot by Red Lemonade on AO3. It is rated general audiences and no archive warnings apply. It is also rated a gen fic, but also male/male, so yeah, let's get into some of these things. So this is gay. Yes, it's very gay. There's so much pride in this Pride Month. So there's Aizawa and Yamada, because we love those gay boys. We really, really do. And those two adopt Shinzo and Izuku, so family there. And then also Izuku/Shoto, because yes, we love that. We love that. And Mei is there too. I forget why Mei is there, but Mei is there. Mei Hatsume. Oh, I forgot about some of these tags. So, homeless Midoriya and Shinzo, kind of. Partially deaf Midoriya. These are... Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the summaries. Summary. A short one-shot of Izuku meeting Itoshi at a homeless shelter and subsequently getting brought home by Shota. Alright, now that we are through with the summary, let's get into the main story. Izuku tiredly stirs his miso, watching as the seaweed and tofu swirled in one small, pathetic whirlpool. The steam rose up into the air, making his face wet with condensation. The quiet clatter of spoons and chopsticks fade into hazy, familiar background noise of rare domestication. It was the closest most of the people got here, a cozy shelter which supplied free breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was a volunteer-run shelter, full of those who were once in Izuku's position themselves. Izuku watches the miso swirl, the water trying its best to pull the much heavier seaweed with it, and the tofu spinning freely around it. He can almost imagine the amount of bickering that would be caused by the food if it was real. Still stirring the miso so the bean paste doesn't separate, Izuku tries to move his left arm. It's still a little sore, the burns forcing the pain deeper as it nips at his nerves, making its presence known with every breath. Sometimes he really wished he was invisible, so he could fade into the background, disappearing from sight, out of mind type thing. Honestly, he wished for anything to make him normal. Mutation, weak, villainous, anything's better than being quirkless. Right? His spinning miso doesn't answer, just keeps spinning, steaming up into his eyes mockingly. Alright, he had beef with miso soup now. God, he was tired. A quiet clank on his table startled Izuku as he looked up from his still swirling miso, eyes meeting another's. A boy, someone who looked someone around his age. Midnight-colored eyes and brilliant purple hair, with eye bags to rival his own. Izuku nodded to the boy, who nodded back. Izuku noted the tension bleed from the purple kid's shoulders when Izuku accepted him, allowing him to sit there without words. They quietly ate together, only making sounds with slurping or their own jangle of utensils. No words were spoken. None were needed anyways. Together they sat in a comfortable silence, just enjoying the only warm meal they'd get until lunch was served later that day. When they both finished their respective meals, the purple kid held out his hand. Shinzo Hitoshi. Izuku nods on return, shaking Shinzo's hand. Izuku Midoriya. Shinzo nods back, standing and cracking his back as he stood. He held out his hand to take Izuku's stuff, and Izuku allowed it. He sat and waited until Shinzo came back, fiddling with the seams on his ratty old jacket. Shinzo sat back down where he was before, both sitting next to the corner of the table. Izuku got it. Being across was too direct, too formal. Being beside was too close, too acquainted. Izuku smiled softly, and Shinzo smiled back, rubbing his hand on the back of his neck and looking down in embarrassment. I saw you a few weeks ago with the Present Mike merch on. His only jacket was Present Mike merch, with the big "oh yeah" on the back. Shinzo stops at that, looking to Izuku. Izuku tilts his head, waiting for Shinzo to continue. He's pretty cool, Izuku beams in response, nodding vigorously. Yeah, I love his shows. Izuku's own voice, his hoarse and scratchy, and he winces at how it sounds, though Shinzo doesn't even bat an eye. He your favorite hero? Izuku frowns, brow furrowed before shaking his head. No, but I still really like him. My favorite hero is more underground. Maybe you've heard of him? Erasure? Shinzo lights up, grinning. Yeah, I love that guy. He's really cool. Shinzo mumbles the last bit, embarrassed probably. Izuku just grins. I like him too. Here, look. Izuku digs into his pocket, pulling out two eraser-head keychains with a smile. I made them. Want one? He had originally planned to add one to his late-night walk bag and keep the other at home, but he's more than happy to give one to Shinzo. And it's worth it, since Shinzo's eyes light up as he tentatively takes it, tracing the lines under his thumb. This is really cool. Thank you. Izuku smiles, clinking his own against it. I wasn't going to do anything with it anyways. Enjoy. A lie, but Shinzo doesn't need to know that. Return the favor by eating lunch with me today? Izuku asked, hesitant. He doesn't want to push his new friend, Reed, away. But to Izuku's relief, Shinzo nods, smiling back far surer than Izuku. It was nice. Izuku thinks as he leaves the shelter. He doesn't usually get nice things, but even if Shinzo leaves when he finds out about his quirklessness, he can revel in this short, warm moment before it goes to shit. Over the next few weeks, Shinzo and Izuku continue to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner together, learning about one another throughout. Shinzo is 13 years old, like him, and his birthday's in July too. He loves cats, lives off of instant coffee, and had chronic insomnia. His favorite color is pearl white, and he detests the texture of mushrooms. Izuku agrees. Why do people like those chewy, slimy things called food anyways? Like, ew. They bond over shitty parents and bad schools, both enjoying making nicknames for the people they don't like. Izuku fixes up Shinzo's scratches and broken supplies, and Shinzo tends to the burns Izuku can't reach and helps him keep up with his schoolwork. When Izuku and Shinzo are 5 months away from turning 14, they both decide that they need to train. They want to be heroes. They want to help and to be free and to care, but they can't do that the way they are now. So they work out together. They watch online videos of one of the volunteers, Shota, he told them, phone, and train together. Shota gives them pointers, apparently teaching dojos and normal classes as his day job. He works at the shelter to help others and got involved because his partner knows the owner. But Shota's advice is nice, solid, no matter how stuffed his story is. He gives good ideas and inspires them to work harder, do better. Especially when he threatens to force them to run the Hell Course trail he does on his 3rd years when they stuff around a bit too much. Over time, Shinzo became Hitoshi, and Midoriya became Izuku. Izuku gets to meet Shinzo's cat, Latte, too. Then the next thing they know, Hitoshi turns to Problem Child number 2, Izuku earning the name Problem Child number 1 due to reckless parkour stunts, which gave Shota a heart attack every time. They gave the allowance for Shota to call them by their first names, but he stuck with his own nicknames. Izuku doesn't mind at all. He loves them. Izuku loves Shota and Hitoshi and Latte. He loves training and talking and existing without a constant fear looming over his head. When Izuku mentions to Shinzo while they're training that he needs to find another job, Shota offers to put in an application in for him to help him teach his first years. He says that having someone younger who's better or on the same level pushes them harder. Izuku blushed furiously at that, blubbering about how it wasn't true and it's only because Shota's such a good teacher. It works, as Shota hides the flush color of his face in his scarf, averting his eyes. Izuku giggles and Shinzo cackles, always taking far more enjoyment in their teacher getting embarrassed. The Hell Course trail they had to run afterwards was definitely worth it. But when Izuku returns to his shitty one-bedroom apartment, he knows that despite saying he'll think about it, he can't. He hasn't told them he's quirkless yet, and there is no way he'd do that anytime soon. He wants to pretend for a little longer. Shota and Hitoshi both believe he has an analysis quirk, and Izuku never corrected them. They'll be furious at him. He knows. So he's going with the motto, fake it till you make it for now. He won't risk what happened with Bakugo and his mother. He knows it never goes well. Shota loves his students. Some may find that hard to believe, but he's not talking about the ones at UA, though he does still like them. He's talking about Problem Child number 1 and number 2. The world doesn't deserve Hitoshi and Izuku. Izuku and Hitoshi are determined, kind, and just wonderful kids. Both of them would make it far in heroics. He hates that just because of their quirks or lack thereof, both boys have been subject to hatred and abuse from such a young age. If they were his kids, he would have showered them with love and adoration. They deserve it, and God knows if Hitoshi or Izuku come to him and say they're orphans or their parents suck or gave him any reason to remove them from their homes, Shota would snatch them up for himself. He wishes desperately that one day they would trust him enough. But for now, seeing them grow and doing his best to be kind, to nurture and love them is enough for him. Hisashi loves them both too, ranting about how Izuku has present Mike merch and it's apparently the only jacket he has, and how Hitoshi's bag is also present Mike merch, though more subtle. He talks about how they have matching Erasure keychains and how much he loves them. Shota listens and agrees. They're both wonderful kids. Shota spent an hour every day training them, and the kids never showed up late. But one day Izuku doesn't show up to the shelter. Shota asks Hitoshi, who breaks down, terrified something happened to his friend. Even though Izuku's never told them, his shoes made it obvious. Izuku was quirkless and could be seriously injured or dead. What if he's dead, Shota? What if Izuku's gone and I won't even know? Hitoshi cries as Shota holds him, rubbing circles around his back. I'll look, okay? I'll look for any medical fires or police reports or anything. I promise you, it's not your fault, Hitoshi. It never will be. He'll be alright, okay? Hitoshi doesn't respond, his breath hitching as he cries. Shh, it's okay, kiddo. Shota isn't sure how long he stays there, holding his kid as he sobs, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, Hitoshi cries himself into exhaustion, passing out on Shota's lap. Not wanting the kid to fall asleep here, he gently shakes the kid awake. Hey kiddo, do you want me to drive you home, or do you want to stay with me and... You please. Shota nods, lifting Hitoshi up to his feet. Okay kiddo, come on. Hisashi is more than happy to give the kid the spare room for now, and Shota scours the internet for anything on Izuku. The only change was a mark on his and 3 other kids' records, which was accessed far too easily, saying that the 3 kids got into a scuffle and accidentally pushed Izuku downstairs. Izuku got pushed down the stairs. Shota cries in his husband's arms that night, begging not to see a deceased update to Izuku's file. It's terrifying waiting for Izuku or waiting for the file to update. He almost loses hope until Izuku shows up 3 days later at the shelter with crutches and a cast on his foot. When Hitoshi sees him, he wraps him in a hug and sobs, thinking Izuku had died. Izuku breaks down with him, crying his heart out. Shota wraps him in a tight hug, breathing a sigh of relief at the feeling of Izuku's curls under his fingers. I'm so glad you're okay, kiddo. So glad. Izuku sniffles, looking up with a weak smile. Shota hugs the kid for another moment before letting go. Do you need anything? Do you need food or money or a place to stay? Anything? He sees Izuku go to shake his head, and Shota feels his heart plummet. Only Izuku stops. I need a place to stay. The money it took for me to pay all the medical... I don't have any money left for rent or utilities, and my landlord said if I ever missed a deadline, he'd evict me. Shota's heart melts, and he stores away the info of Izuku's landlord for future him. Right now, he needed to keep his kids safe. Sure, Izuku. And Hitoshi, do you still need somewhere to stay? We have 2 spare rooms. Hitoshi looks up to him with wide eyes, sparing a scared glance at Izuku. His face softens at Izuku's smile and Hitoshi nods. Yes, please, if it's not a bother. Shota shakes his head. I wouldn't offer it if it was, kid. Hitoshi's lower lip trembled, his eyes shining with unshed tears. Thank you, Shota. Thank you. Shota hugs them both, ruffling their hair as he stands. No problem. Let's get you kids at home, okay? Izuku nods, beaming as he glances to Hitoshi, who smiles softly. As they exit the shelter, a voice calls out to Izuku from across the road. Izuku! A young girl with pink hair runs up to him, pulling up short and wrapping him in a soft hug. I was so worried I couldn't contact you and there were no files except the incident report and I was so scared. The girl sobs, pulling Izuku closer. Izuku pats her hair, hugging her back. It's okay, Mei-chan. I'm alright, see? Just a bit knocked up. The girl, Mei-chan, nods, wiping her tears away before she shoots a glare at Shota and Hitoshi. If I found out you 2 hurt Izuku, I'm going to find where you live and release my babies on you. Shota pauses, blue screening for a moment. Babies? Him and Hitoshi said at the same time, staring at the girl. Izuku laughs, and Shota softens. Mei-chan calls her inventions babies because she puts love and effort into every one she makes, even if they explode. And Mei-chan, Shota's offering me a place to stay tonight. Hitoshi's staying too. Mei-chan brights up immediately. Oh, you're the purple cat and tired panther. Izuku talks about you all the time. Nice to meet you both. I'm Hatsume Mei, future owner of MIE, meaning Mei and Izuku Enterprises. Shota huffs a laugh. Black Panther. Hatsume nods, vibrating where she stood. Yep, it's your sign names. Izuku and I practice JSL together because him and I are hard of hearing, and you guys come up a lot. Shota smiles, but inwardly frowns. Hard of hearing? Why didn't he know this? Izuku nods, smiling. Michan and I are both around explosions a lot, so we want to make sure we don't lose every form of communication. Hatsume grins, then hugs Izuku once more before scampering away, yelling out her goodbyes. Bye, Izuku, and have fun! Izuku waves in return, still blushing furiously. Hitoshi grins. Purple cat. I like it. Very on the nose. Izuku rolls his eyes playfully, smiling at them both. Shota will ask about the hearing issues later. For now, he has to get his kids home. 7 years later. Papa, hurry up. I have a date with Shotron after this. Izuku groans as his dad rolls his eyes, squishing him and his brother closer together. Papa just grins and adjusts the camera, wrapping an arm around Izuku and Hitoshi's neck. Say cheese, graduates! Izuku rolls his eyes but smiles at the camera along with Hitoshi. The camera clicks a few times and they are both finally released. Papa hugs Izuku and then Hitoshi tightly, pressing a kiss to their cheeks with a grin. I'm so proud of you two. Remember to be home for dinner. May is coming by to talk about agency things with you two. Me and Shota are super proud and we love you lots. Now go on and talk to your friends. Dad hugs them both too. The turning it and burying his face in his capture scarf, who still has it despite the fact he retired. Dad, just because we can't see your mouth doesn't mean we can't see the tears in your eyes. Dad shakes his head and Hitoshi grins with Izuku. Love you, Dad. Love you, Papa. We'll see you at home. They wave their goodbyes to their parents, hugging each other before heading out to their friends. Ochako, Tenya, Sue, Adro, put that rock down. You cannot have another rock pet. Shotron, do not. Denki, not you too. Guys, wait up. Izuku and Hitoshi run to them, laughing as they go. They catch up with their friends, but Izuku stops to look back at his dad. His dad raises an eyebrow, and Izuku lifts his hands and signs to him. Tired Cat and Green Ocelot love you, Black Panther. Tell Blonde Cockatoo not to expect any grandkids until we're 30. Alright, so that was the end of the one-shot. Purple Cat, Tired Panther, and Green Ocelot. It was adorable and so cute. I had fun recording this, but oh my gosh, I started. No, I think it took me a reasonable amount of time. I started recording at 12:49 and it's only 1:13 and the audio's like 18 minutes, but that's chill. Anyways, remember to eat, sleep, drink your water, and take your meds, and when you sleep, go to bed at a reasonable time. And you guys cannot clown on me because, like I just mentioned, it's 1:13 p.m., not a.m. I'm not recording in the middle of the night anymore. I stopped doing that, like, months ago. And I hope you enjoy this. I won't be able to, like, react to any comments this week, because I'm posting this on Monday. Yeah, obviously, it's Monday when you're watching this. There's a video for Tuesday so far. I don't have anything recorded for the other 3 days, though, but I will actually be at the beach for a week, so I'm not home. I don't have my device. I can't communicate with y'all. I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed, and remember, kids, be do and crime gay.